it's a combination of a little piece of clip art, two ladies shaking hands, a little table design, and then also there's actually a little bullet point here also. All right, and we actually get this from Microsoft Word. In the slide sorter view at this point, I'm clicking on before the third bullet point. Let's just say you or the boss comes in and says, well, you need to move this up to the first bullet point, national and overseas, all right? Or maybe I want to pull it up to the first. Some people say, well, I got to cut it, I got to copy it, I got to paste it a little bit, all right? You got to get the notes. We get this also Microsoft Word. You can do it in a bullet list in Word a little bit also. I'm going to hold down my Alt key on the left-hand side of my keyboard, hold down my Shift key. Now, next to your number pad are your arrow keys. Hit my upper arrow key, it moves up the list. And if you can see it now, the national and overseas is the first bullet point. That's a great technique. So if you want to change the position of a bullet or a number list, if you have it at number 4 and you want to move it to number 7, I can do Alt, Shift, down arrow, 1, 2, 3, and make it the last one here, or coming in here. And it actually just changes the location of the bullets. And I want to start the presentation. Right now, there's no animation for the bullet points. Now, sometimes when you bring this in, you can have some animation. If you give this right now, everybody sees all these 4 bullets, and you're giving away this slide. I want to maintain control of my presentation. So if I can bring these 4 bullet points one at a time, I'm maintaining control only when I talk about professional network. Only when I'm finished talking about professional, I click, I'm talking about marketing knowledge. Then I click, and national and overseas. Now, it's a very subtle thing. And again, I got this from the half-day class called Better Presentations. When I finish with professional networking, it's a thing called DIMS. It's called DIMS, D-I-M-S. I just want to change the background, the color, from the one before to the one after. I want to just get people's attention off the last one onto the next one. So I'm going to come out of here, and if I actually highlight professional work, I can go back to animation. I'll do maybe a fade, or I'll say a float. And I'll have to do each one of these. I'll do a float, and do this next one here. I got to do this kind of fast for you. Highlight this again. So each one is coming in separately. So if I actually come into this slide right here, I click, I talk about this, I click, I talk about this, now I click, but again, it's still black ink in the prior one. I click, comes in that way also. If I highlight all these again, I go into animation, and in the animation grouping, in the lower right-hand corner, we have that little arrow in the corner. It's called the dialog box launcher, where everything lives under one roof. If I click on the dialog box launcher, and if I go into effects, and it says after animation says don't dim, that's why it's staying black ink. If I click on this, and I can make it maybe the orange just for kicks, just to show you this, all right, and say okay. So if I go back to my presentation, it's very, very subtle thing. If I click on this, I talk about this, but I want to just get a piece of attention off the first one onto the second one. I click, and it actually goes a little lighter in the background. It's a very subtle thing, but it's a nice actually thing to do for what's called dim. So I click, and the next one I talk about national overseas, and I click, and then prices starting at whatever. All right, so that's the concept of DIMS, all right?
NetCom Learning helped customers build innovative learning organization by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. And we have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. Today's presentation is from the business applications practice area.
Technical skills we know are necessary to empower your career, but you need to improve or upgrade your leadership skills as well in order to accelerate your career. Along with your technical abilities, develop the skills you need to manage yourself, others, and business better. Welcome to SmartArt Learning, a collaborative knowledge platform bringing the world's best business and leadership insights from Fortune 1000 leaders, best-selling authors, and Ivy League professors. Further, if you are interested in learning from the top American leaders, you can log on to the e-learning platform, smartartlearning.com, and avail the special promotion meant for first-time users. You can use coupon code SMARTART10 and begin your leadership journey right now.